I keep saying what I'm saying, but basically my mama's husband was in the military, and he was in the Navy and out to sea. And all I know is that he would, like, leave frequently, and the
And your mother cheated. Man, I I know you looking at the title and you're like, what? That's the same response I had to this story. It's unbelievable but confusing and you know kind of makes you tingle inside at the same time. I don't know, but we just gonna get to this and see if we can figure out how and why. All right, let's let's get to it.
yeah. So you know how you need like your birth certificate and stuff to get your real ID. So I've been asking my mama for my birth certificate so I can see, like, to get my stuff. So my mama been like, withholding my birth certificate. So I'm telling my grandma, which I call my nana. I'm telling my nana, like, nana, like, where's my birth certificate? Like, can you tell my mom to give it to me? Yeah. So my grandma, she sit me down and she's like, oh, well, like, I got something to tell you. And I'm like, what is it? Yeah, why my grandmama, my mama, and my mama really my sister? Like, what the fuck is really going on? So now, like, I'm asking my mom, I'm like, like, girl, so, like, you been raising me as your daughter this whole time, like, you my motherfucking sister. Yo, what the fuck is going on? Everybody got some explaining to do because I'm really confused at this point. Like, so
I'm confused too because a lot of times when something like this happens, we saw it, seen it in a Tyler Perry movie. You know, shout out to Byron. Uh, but usually it's the biological mother will pretend to be the sister, while the biological grandmother will pretend to be the mother. That's how it usually happens. But she's saying her who she thought was her grandma was actually her mother, and who she thought was her mother is actually her sister. It, why would that? Unless she had a baby, she had a side baby, and instead of telling everybody, hey, I cheated on my husband and had this baby, I'm gonna just tell everybody it's my daughter's baby. That's the only way, that's the only reason I can see why you would make that change like that. But let's see the rest of it.
so I'm just waiting to see the birth certificate so I can see who the fuck my mama is. So my mama is really my sister, and my grandma really my. Hey y'all, so I'm back with part two. I was not
So the
expecting my
grandma is
video
the
to go
baby's
that
mama.
viral as how it did. Thank you to the nice comments and to the people that have said positive things. And if you ain't had nothing positive to say, then I don't know. But I'm gonna just give y'all a little bit of the story because I personally don't put out all my business. I didn't think that a million thousands of people was gonna see this. But here it is for you guys. The number one question I keep getting: why didn't I go to get the vital records or go to the courthouse? I'm not from LA. So when you're not from LA, it doesn't work like that. I was born out the country in Europe, in Italy to be exact. I'm a military brat. So basically, my grandma's husband, which is my mom. Yeah, I keep saying what I'm saying, but basically, my mama's husband was in the military, and he was in the Navy and out to sea. And all I know is that he would, like, leave frequently, and
And your mother cheated, had you, but didn't want to tell her husband, or didn't want her husband to find out, because he probably could be gone for 9, 10 months, a year, her entire pregnancy. And when he came back, she was like, "This ain't mine. She had a baby. Our daughter had a baby while you was gone." Wow.
to go work and stuff like that. So what I'm assuming is my grandma basically had a baby out of her marriage, and my mom or my sister and her husband raised me, if it all makes sense. So basically that's the shorter version of the story. And it's like people are like, are you mad, or like how do you deal with it? I just don't know how to feel. I'm just here. I'm here with y'all, just, going through the motion and just figuring everything out. Hey TikTok. So I'm back at it with part 3, and basically I use this comment because it best describes what is going on in the situation. But my goal of this video, or my first video, was not to expose my family or not to put anybody's name out there or anything like that. So like, if you really know us, then you know what's going on, and you know the real. I'm not going to do a mom reveal or a sister reveal or a dad reveal. But you guys are asking about where my dad is. My dad is, I have not spoke to that man since my college graduation. And if you do know him, you should ask him, why is he not a good dad to me? I just feel like my dad, like, he was like the first man that kind of like really just let me down. And that's like a lot of black dads. They are their daughter's first heartbreak, because I just feel like they just really don't like their mama so much to where like they just give up on the daughter too. So I feel like that's how my situation is with my dad. Like, he just don't like my mom. I just feel like he don't like me.
It happens.
But he did help me get through college, so T to him. Got my bachelor's degree because of him. But other than that, that's basically the story, and I have nothing else to really say. But if you guys want to talk about other stuff, then we can.
Shout out to her through all that. I guess she didn't know before, but she, going to college, graduating, getting your degree. Shout out to her for that. Look, man, that has to be tough. It has to be tough to, you wake up one day and your whole life has basically been a lie. That has to be tough on her, and that she's still pushing through, still looks good, not, soaking away somewhere, mad, upset. Looks like she's still, getting out the house. That's great. Look, honesty is the best policy in whatever it is, in all facets of life, whatever circumstances is, whatever the consequences are. Honesty is always the best policy. Okay? Nobody ever says, "Woo, that lie I told all those years ago, I'm glad I told that lie." Like, nobody ever does that, okay? Nobody ever says, "Thanks for lying to me my whole life." Like, that never happens. Some people lie and get away with it, and they take lies with them to their grave, okay? But the mental heartache, the mental pain that they put themselves through was not worth it. Was not worth it. Especially if it's a lie as big as that. Yeah, it had to be on your brain. You, mama, grandma, and you grandma, mama, and you, mama, sister. You both of y'all It had to be weighing heavy on y'all every day. Every day. And I know you didn't want the lie to come out, but I know once it did, you felt some relief. Finally. Yes, you're upset that you hurt her and you lied to her for these years, but you have relieved yourself of a mental burden that you've been struggling with her whole life. And that brings relief. Man, telling the truth is like almost the most satisfying thing you can do, if you know what I'm talking about. But, just try it. Tell the truth. I promise you. I promise you. It's better to deal with whatever consequences come your way immediately. Because if you lie for a certain amount of years or a certain amount of time, the consequences increase. So just take those consequences right away, okay? Tell the truth, get it out there, deal with the consequences so you and everybody involved is able to move on. It's only going to help you. It's only going to help you. And I know what you're thinking. Derrick, did you just tell me to snitch? Yes, I sure did. Tell it all, okay? If they did something that they should be in jail for, yes. Tell. Why not? Thank you for watching this video. All right. Subscribe, like, comment your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you tell the truth? Are you a liar? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see y'all on the next one.